I came out to my parents in front of my secret boyfriend. My mom hasn't spoken to me in a month and I don't know how to approach her. I came out to my parents for the first time, and my dad understood why more than I thought he would. I didn't always know. When I was a kid I was oblivious to sexual orientation and gender. It just never crossed my mind until I came across Alex in high school. He was beautiful and way out of my league. This was my first experience of feeling genuine attraction to another person. I wondered if at some point I would feel this towards a woman, but that never happened. Now age 23 with a secret boyfriend, I thought it was time to tell my parents the truth. I kept putting it off because I was so fearful of what their reactions would be. My mother is a devout Catholic and my dad has historically been judgmental around LGBT communities. I always told myself that I didn't need their approval, but I do. My boyfriend came to me the other day and expressed hurt at never meeting my parents and never being invited to any family events. I never told him that I had permanently assigned myself to the closet, but he made me realize how unrealistic it was and how I was destined to live a sad and lonely life if I refused to acknowledge and share who I was. I organized a dinner with my parents at our local Olive Garden, and said that I was bringing a friend with me. I was shaking, sweating and genuinely so anxious, and while my boyfriend was really kind and supportive, I was catastrophizing and envisioning the worst case scenario and how I was going to handle being rejected by my parents. Once we sat down and ordered our drinks, I blurted it out. It was graceless, clumsy and totally alarming for everyone involved. I'm gay. There was a long pause. My parents blinked while my boyfriend slowly turned to me and mouthed what the F and then burst out laughing. My mum started to laugh awkwardly while my dad stared down at his knife and fork. I looked at each of them wild-eyed and said, "What are you two laughing at?" And suddenly my dad grabbed my arm and said, "I need to speak to you outside for 5 minutes." Scared that this was going to be the end of our relationship, I meekly followed him. Once we got outside, he drew me in for the biggest hug, and I sobbed, wiping a tear away from his cheek. Dad told me something that shocked me to my core. "Son, you know that I love you, but there is a part of me that you know nothing about." I stepped back and with a soft smile he said, "I'm gay, always have been." Dumbfounded, my jaw dropped. What was I meant to say to my own dad being gay? My entire childhood ran through my mind, as I hunted for clues in my memories, but I just couldn't find any indicator or sign that I missed. So I made an effort to thank him for telling me, and reassured him that I wouldn't tell Mom. I asked him why he was married, why he had been pretending all these years and how he had coped with suppressing such a huge part of himself. It was the age-old argument of generational prejudice and social exclusion. His parents were Christian Orthodox and vehemently against homosexuality. My granddad would have written my dad out of his will and his mom would have disowned him. So, when he met my mother he thought he could hide behind the marriage and play happy families. I feel so much closer to Dad now. I wish I had known sooner, otherwise I would have told him when I was younger. Now, he is someone to talk to and I have a parent that literally understands how I've been feeling. I just don't know how I am meant to keep this a secret from Mom. When we went back inside, my mom stood up. She had clearly been crying, but then she told me she already knew. How she had found my magazines, how she saw how I looked at the boys in high school. I couldn't tell what she was feeling. It was clearly hard for her, especially when I revealed that my friend was actually my boyfriend and that we had been together for 2 years. Confused and hurt by all the secrets, Mom left. A month has passed since I came out, and while I speak to my dad regularly he keeps saying that Mom just needs more time. But quite frankly, either she has to accept me for who I am or she can't, which will end our relationship. How do I get my mom to talk to me about this?